headstrong. Because that's how you have to be.
So you better figure out who the fuck you are on this journey. And those few people many people don't like you, so be it. But you first have to figure out you, because a lot of people die with a lot of untapped potential because they're trying to be somebody that they're not.
All the time you're complaining, you could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead figuring out what you're doing wrong, trying to improve certain aspects of your life, getting your shit together, reading a book, meditating, something. Fucking something.
Mentally tough up here. If you guys mentally believe you can do it, your body will find a way physically to make it happen. If you are short up here, it doesn't matter what you do with these guys, it will never materialize into anything. No dream will ever become reality. Winners, the difference between them and the spectators is the winners have a belief.
But this I can't catch a break shit is not helping anybody, and it pushes everybody away from you. But some people, they get caught in that pattern, and it might be their parents, it might be how they were raised, somebody might have told them they were useless real early on, it's stuck, and they never feel like they get enough reassurance. They never feel like they get enough motivation.
You were scared you were gonna fail. You were scared if you started, you never finish it. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to embark on it.
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight. This is where they die.
And a fucking spark is born. And no matter what happens, I'm never gonna be in this boat again. And you get up and you go, even if it gets knocked down, you just keep going, you're a wild man. And life has never been so sweet. That can happen at an early age, it can happen at a later age. It's gonna happen to somebody no matter what, it's gonna happen to you. And when it does happen to you, thank your lucky stars that finally you're alive. It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. Superior, man. It's within you. It's within every single one of us. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us. It's just they believed it and they're willing to work their fucking ass off to get it.
Who cares? You tired or not? Nobody cares about you.
Even with the stuff that go wrong, that's still the best version of you that God can create. Even though things don't always work out the way you want it to work out, God did not make a mistake. And even though other people can't necessarily feel it, when God made you, he stepped back and said, that's good.
When it's over, when they're tired, when they're frustrated, when they're ready to give up, when they spent their last dime, that's when they get started. Are you hearing me? It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money, when all your energy gone, when you have nothing left, that's when it's showtime. When you find a way out of no way, when you find breath that you don't have, when you find energy that did not exist, when you want this thing as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you find a way.
If you get all you have, you're gonna get max potential back. And then who knows what will come. That's the beautiful thing. If you don't show up, guys, you know the outcome. You'll never get the job, never get the part, never get the girl if you don't show up. If you show up, you're putting yourself in a situation to create those opportunities. And when you show up, how hard do you go? That's the faster that opportunity will come to life for you. It's up to you guys. But I applaud you for being here. I applaud you for watching this, encouraging you to incorporate this in your workout. You'll see the gains like I did, and you'll fall in love with it. Even though it's tiring and exhausting, and you're sweating your ass off, and you're tired as can be. Small down payment that you're willing to pay every day for the large investment of a greater life. You only got one life, guys. Again, if you work it right, you only need one.
Average skill, phenomenal will. Average skill, phenomenal will.
This is a fucking means to the ends. It's not the ends. All those motherfuckers that come in here, their hair done, the makeup, these guys come in shirts to be seen, missing the fucking point, man. Missing the point. You're not in here to get an achievement. You're in here to pay your fucking dues, so later in life, you never wonder what if. Burn the midnight oil, so I don't stay awake in the midnight hours wondering this. We just erase that out of the equation.
It's all about mindset. That's it, man. You have to change the dialogue within your head. And one thing I guarantee you, there's some stat out there about January 1. All that kindling that you started, all that motivation usually burn out by about 10 to 12 days later. So let's see how far you can take that shit. People always come to me, man, hey, I want a workout program. I no longer give them anymore because you're gonna waste my fucking time. Because I know most people out there, once that fucking one alarm clock goes off at the wrong time of the day, I'm not going to the gym.
The bad days create the story that I'm one day going to tell myself about what I got through. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without the bad days, the story would be way more lame. there would be no glory in overcoming anything, because what did you overcome? It was all just 40 to 60, you know, vanilla ice cream mush, grave, like, existence.
Yeah, because it's true. It's not been that guy. You're just in this world where you just can't wait to just run away. You have an apartment you have to pay for. You have a car you leased. You have a wife that you have to feed. You have a child you have to raise. You have your mortgage. You have your this. You have your that, and that's where it all comes from.
So there's a lot of pockets of weakness nowadays, and we try to fill those pockets with lies. I did it for many years. So I'm out here in Colorado for a conference. I go to the gym, and this trainer calls me over to talk to this group of people he's training. He says, "Hey man, what are you doing out here?" So I tell him. He says, "What kind of workouts are you doing?" I said, "Well, one workout I'm doing, I'm climbing up this mountain, 3,000 feet, 3 miles. Because I do that every day." So the next day I'm out looking for him. Didn't see him. A couple days later, looking for him. Didn't see him. So here I am on the mountain again, climbing it. And there's a gondola that takes you up, takes you down. I'm going up it. I see a gondola. I'm about 5 minutes from the top. I look up at the gondola. I see him, face pressed up against the window, looking at me, or eyes me. It's called a look. When you take a motherfucker's soul, don't talk about it. Be about it. Practice what you preach.
You had the value and the vision up here before you applied the effort and the work in there. It must be that way. And if it's not, take a fucking moment, gather your thoughts. Realize why you're fucking here. Realize that you're gonna pay the payments today on your terms, not later in the day when someone else is paying them on your ass. That notion, if you had that belief, both in colliding and this workout, this blitzkrieg on our back, will bear the fruits of your conviction.
I just got off a 17-hour flight. And I'm sitting there thinking, take a day off. No one will know. But I keep on thinking too, there's always someone out there who's working harder than you. I'm haunted by that motherfucker. Knowing that someone out there is willing to forgo personal desires and comforts, forgo sleep, forgo whatever it takes to be better, to be the best. In life, a lot of times, a lot of us have that person out there. There may not be a name or a face to him, but he exists. You make sure in life when they think about that person, you make sure they put a name and face to it. You make sure the name and face is yours. You do the haunting. Get in somebody's head. Own space. In those times when you want to quit, because we're all human, you make sure you remember one thing. All those times and hours and days you sacrificed to be the best. Stay hard.
Fuck their doubts and their criticism and their bullshit and their loser mentality. Put it all up here on your shoulder, and when you don't feel like it, and when you're frustrated, and when you want to quit, take the proper amount out, and the proper amount is the amount that gets you off your ass and gets you executing. Because if you're executing day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, over the course of time, regardless of what anybody says, regardless of what your mom says, regardless of what your dad says, regardless of what your cousins say, regardless of what the internet says, if you are executing day in and day out.
Lose! I don't lose! I win! I win! That's my job! That's what I do!
You have to build yourself into someone who can continue to execute regardless of what's happening around you. It doesn't matter if your parents don't approve, or your wife, or your girlfriend, or your husband. It doesn't fucking matter if you keep executing.
We know that it's not easy, but no pain, no gain. Not even coming from the Shaolin Temple. Worldwide known, that sentence. But it's like this. I can only give the pain to others that I have received already. My bones can only be as hard as I have hit whatever was hard like that. And so that means take it as a challenge. Everything that hurts you, find a way to overcome it. Everything that you feel is difficult for you, find a way to still do it.
To those who have everything, more will be given. From those who have nothing, everything will be taken. It's like what's very pessimistic in some sense, because it means that as you start to fail, you fail more and more rapidly. But it also means that as you start to succeed, you succeed more and more rapidly. And so you take an incremental step, and well, now you can lift 55 pounds instead of 52.5 pounds, you think, well, what the hell's that? It's like, it's one step on a very long journey. And so it starts to compound on you. So a small step today puts you in a position to take a slightly bigger step the next day. And then that puts you in a position to take a slightly bigger step the next day. And you do that for 2 or 3 years, man, you're starting to stride.
The fear is never reaching your potential.
That's it.
That always falling short, always quitting before you're done, always procrastinating, always not doing the right thing. And then one day you're an old man.
Yep.
And you look back and go, God, I could have been great.
Yep.
I could have been great.
But when you put that practice in, every day you lace them up, and I don't mean run, it's just a metaphor for life. When you lace them motherfuckers up every day, pretty soon you win. Pretty soon if you have the courage and the heart and the dedication and the mindset about everybody can go f*** themselves. I've listened to myself enough to know I know what I know.
Go to high school, go to college, get the house with the white picket fence, have 2.5 kids, work, your next 70 years and then retire when you're fucking 107, right? Like that's not how entrepreneurs think. Entrepreneurs don't think like that. They don't even buy into what I call the list. The list is what you're supposed to do, what they told you you're supposed to do. And the more society changes, the less important that list is. We're to a point now where even mainstream colleges don't even require, or mainstream jobs don't even require college degrees anymore. You see what I'm saying? Things are changing. Yeah. And so being of sound mind and learning how to critically think and learning how to think outside the box to get to the destination that you want to get to is extremely important. And you should have the foresight to do that before you spend all this time dedicated to that thing and then figuring out that you can't get where you want to go.
Another reason to pause before jumping into a leadership vacuum as soon as you see it is to make sure that no one else is jumping in there. If two people step in to fill a leadership void at the same time, they usually bump into each other when they get there. And then while the problem's growing, they have to take precious time to sort out which person is actually going to lead and which one is going to stand down. And if egos clash at that moment, we're going to have an even bigger problem. I would rather avoid that. If someone else is going to step into a plan, it's fine with me. Very soon, everyone notices the problem. I see that, and then step up and make a call that everyone needs to be made.
And when that thing tells you to quit, you look at it in his eye and say, I ain't going nowhere. I will break you before you break me. You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me. Some of you are so ignorant. You've been through so much hell. You gonna quit now? You should have quit 10 years ago when you got raped. You should have quit 10 years ago when he walked out on you. You should have been quit. You don't quit now. It's the 10th round. You got 2 more to go. And when you get to success, it's not about skill. When you get to a certain level of success, it's about stamina. It's about stamina. It's about you won't break me. You can't take me. I fought too long. I fought too hard. If I was going to quit Satan, you should have got me at 17.
What the hell were you all waiting for to start attacking life? Waiting for the stars to align? Back when I was growing up, the song came out. All I need is a miracle. Well, guess what? That miracle ain't coming. There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now with changing your life. We're all being tested in life. And guess what? This is one test you can't cheat on. We all have our own test. Some of us are obese. Some of us are depressed. Some of us are insecure. In the military, we have this big old rucksack on the back. Have batteries, water, extra gear. Your extra gear is the shit you're dealing with in life. And the only way to overcome it is for you and you alone to face it. You have to do your best work when you're least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, guess what you gotta do? You gotta suck it the fuck up and do it. Stay hard.
If I'm running on a treadmill and I get to mile 9 and I get complete cramp in one of my legs, and I know I've told myself I'm going to run 10 kilometers today, he goes, I will have to limp the last mile because I can't let the demons in. And if I let the demons in, they'll show up in the 11th round of a championship fight when there's 50,000 people watching me in the audience. And I know deep in my self-story that I'm the type of person that quits when things get hard because I got off that treadmill at mile 9 when no one was watching. It would modify my self-story. The commitments we keep to ourselves and what we do when no one's watching is the most persuasive evidence that governs everything we then do every day thereafter.
The bar for excellence has never been so low. Most of your competition quits after the first sign of difficulty because they've never known what hard feels like. If it's hard for you, it's hard for everyone. And most people avoid hard things, which is why you can beat most people by just trying.
go for it, guys. You gotta say, you know what? This comfort zone I'm in is a fucking danger zone. It's a danger zone because what is it doing? It's stopping you from your true potential. It's comfortable. I don't want to step out here because I don't know that area. Well, that area is gonna give you gotta risk it, right? And the reward is huge. Yeah, I got a little bit of pain right now. You know, my ankle's a little sore, but I got all this reward of pride of who I am and everything else. And I'm taking that into my next endeavor, the next job. And you know what? That's gonna be enhanced. You guys gotta risk it, man. Don't let anyone say you can't do something. Don't let your mind say, oh, I can't do it anymore. It's your body. You can. You just gotta push past it. You guys heard of the second wind, you know? I got my second wind, my third wind. That shit's in us. We stop ourselves before we really need to stop. We listen to society and what the normality, the average people are saying, oh, that's too much. It's too much. Too much for them, man. Not too much for you.
The most successful people in the world are the most successful people in the world because they have clarity on what they want. The less people know what they want, the more destructive their lives are. The more depressed they are. I know what I'm going to get. Do it. You're a man now. And a man is only as good as his word, not his emotions. Emotions don't win championships. Emotions don't build buildings. Emotions tear it down. So whatever's going to cause you not to be your best, stop it. Your responsibility is not to come here and just eat off the legacy. Your responsibility is to come and defend the legacy. Because if you don't defend it, it won't be here 5 years from now. It won't be here 10 years from now. I'm writing a book. I'm not writing a book for myself. As a matter of fact, I told them, keep the $400,000. I don't need it. Give me 50-50. I don't need y'all money. Give me 50-50. They say, why you want 50-50? Because this book is for my grandkids. We're going to make millions and we're going to make sure they have something when they come. I made some decisions not to play video games. I made some decisions not to watch TV. I made some decisions. I want a better future for my kids than I had. What do you want? What do you want to do for this program?
Winners focus.
Currently going through, I have built up enough reservoir that living in the car taught me that this ain't it. So the things I'm going through now, I know this ain't it. That he gonna come get me in a minute. So all I gotta do is sit tight. I ain't in a bad place. Now I ain't where I wanna be, but the spot I'm in is better than where I was. I ain't homeless. So what I'm going through right now, y'all don't know, I got some challenge. People think when you get famous or rich that your problems is over. Oh, they got a whole new set of them for you. They got some stuff you ain't seen. Biggie wrote a song, said one time, more money, more problems. I gotta tell you something, that boy wasn't never lying. But I'll tell you the truth right now. The problems I got right now, I take them. Because the problems I had when I was homeless, I don't want them no more.
Every single person that you look up to, every single success story that inspires you, every single championship story that you say, damn dude, one day that's gonna be me, they all went through this. Every fucking single one of them. So don't think it's just you, don't take it personal, but use it as fuel. Because if you can execute, you cannot be fucking stopped. And let me remind you of one little thing before we let you go. If you quit and you do retire back into the framework of normalcy, you know what they're gonna say 10 years from now about you? They're gonna say, yeah, he tried, but he fucking failed. Just like I knew he would. So you can decide, do you wanna go down the path and face the criticism, and face the hate, and face the frustration, and face the pain, and use it as fuel, and then go on to fucking win, and inspire, and teach, and lift people up? Or do you want to retire into the framework of normalcy?
I have to continue to reinvent the wheel of the mind and figure out more and more ways for you to pull. Because if I have a cookie cutter message, it may hit 5 people out of 25. You just failed. My message needs to be in a way where I can hit all 25 people. It needs to be broad enough to where all 25 people may not like the message, but they're getting something from it. And that is evolution. You must continue to evolve. And you don't evolve, for me, in my job, unless I cap myself somewhere and say, okay, you made this much money, get back to fucking work. It's time to get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the fucking noise. Get back to the fucking mental lab, because that's where the knowledge came from.
I don't know one single self-made multi-millionaire that literally didn't work hard. So like, if you're like, I don't want to work hard, You know, I get like the Tim Ferriss to 4-hour work week. I get that. I don't know very many people that pull that off. I'm just going to be honest. And by the way, if you want to build something big, okay, there's a lot of people that don't. They're not psycho competitors like me. They don't want to build $100, $200, $300 million business. I get it. Maybe there's a way, you know, where you don't have to work hard. I will tell you, 95% of the world doesn't get to where they want to go because their work ethic is pure dog.
Don't stop the journey is what they're saying. Don't forget where you came from. Remember that person that was hungry, that wanted more. Remember that person now because there's more to get. Don't let society's caution tape stop you from your pursuit of where you can be. Don't be a wannabe. Want to be more. Want to put the work in. Everybody in life, guys, wants to be something. No one wants to just be a wannabe. Everyone wants to be the lawyer, wants to be the doctor, wants to be the inspiration, wants to be someone of principle. No one wants to be forgotten.
We have so many tools to put in our arsenal to strengthen our minds, to put those calluses on our minds for when we need them. So one of those great tools is positive self-talk. Positive self-talk works well, but you gotta put the work behind it. It's gotta be the truth. Positive self-talk has to be the truth. So let's say you're taking a test, hard test in college, but you haven't studied, but you have a positive mindset, and you have positive self-talk going into it. Chances are, you're gonna fail that test. Positive self-talk doesn't work unless you put the work behind it. It's only bullshit. Put the work behind your positive self-talk.
There's lots of people who work really, really hard for a long time and never make it. And that's because working hard is just part of the puzzle. The other part of the puzzle, how high your skill set is, how developed your skill set is. And so we have these people that say these things like, work smart, not hard, all right? Well, you're a fucking moron, all right? I'm gonna tell you that right now, because it takes both. It takes hard work and it takes smart work. So while you have to be putting in the work and you have to be showing up, you have to be giving it all you have to consistently be aware and conscious of the intentional skill set that you are building along the way.
Everybody can live their own life. At the end of the day, the more people that you share a bed with, you give them a piece of your soul, whether you like to or not. You give them a piece of your memories, you give them a piece of yourself. So you just have to be very careful who you decide to spend your time with. And at the end of the day, you know, I just, like I said, I reward and I enjoy being with people, and hopefully they do too, where loyalty and longevity are pillars of a relationship. So my girl used to drive me to work. I used to toss wings and work in the kitchen. She would drive me to work when I didn't have a car. So hopefully now we're able to build something together that's a dope life. And it would make no sense whatsoever, and it wouldn't be very good of me to neglect all of that sacrifice that's been done.
Like, not everybody's gonna be able to, you know, make it. You feel me? Cause I think it takes a little luck. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it takes just a little, like the right time, the right place.
Timing.
But dedication for sure. Like dedication and like when at the right time, consistency. But like but people don't understand that like slow motion is better than like no motion. Like
facts.
Like slow progress is way better than just not having nothing. And I feel like today's like right now, people aren't patient.
I'm comfortable with the understanding of hard work brings great reward.
We can't work out without purpose. We need to get into our dress for the wedding. Summertime's coming, so we want to look all good. Our high school reunion's coming up, so we gotta lose weight. The biggest purpose in life isn't all that shit. It's how you respect yourself, how you look at yourself. That's an everyday fucking journey. So every day you should be getting after it. We look at determination, self-discipline. We look at hard work. All these terms is almost like we dread them. Almost like a fucking punishment. Those are the biggest words of all time as far as respecting yourself. So don't look at them as dread and punishment. Look at those words as a lifestyle. Stay hard.
Car gets you from point A to point B. What's a car? It's an engine to drive that car, right? And a steering wheel, the direction of where that engine is driving towards. Both of them are the forces you need to turn this workout, this back workout, into the barrage of excellence it can be. Let's talk about those two things real fast. The steering wheel, the directional path, where you're headed in life. That's your belief upstairs. Before you walk in here, you already know what you're going to do. There's a plan of action. Therefore, every action has results and bears the fruits of your labor. It must be that way. You don't go in here blindly. You go in here with a fucking purpose. Mentally believing it, like Muhammad Ali. He called himself the greatest fighter before he ever won something. He believed it. He had a strong directional path of where he's heading. That's the steering wheel. But then you need an engine, an undying will, commitment, the effort. Even you get knocked down, you get back up, you get back up, you get back up, and you continue to throw shit against the wall. Because you believe in the purpose, you find value in it.
You should be very proud of yourself right now. You know? Came in here with a desire, you put action to that desire. That combination explodes into potential, whatever you want to make happen. This world is your playground, man, if you want it to be. Everything that's you ever dreamed of becoming. Some human. The only difference between that human and you, we all create equally, right?
Most people's definition of work is a negative one, which is why they abhor it, which is also why they misunderstand so many people who quote, I'll say quote here, are successful or ahead of them or whatever, is that both people, one person says the word work and the other person hears the word pain. And so the first step to like becoming more successful is understanding the language that the people who are successful are using. They're actually defining the word differently. And so whatever that thing is that you actually enjoy doing, where you lose track of time when you're in it, even if it's challenging, but usually it is challenging, right? Like it's not easy because then it's boring, right? Which is also why the uncertainty thing is so key, right? To not knowing if it's gonna work or not. You are gonna work though, either way. Is that the people who are quote addicted to work make it easy to be addicted to work because they do things worth doing. And I think a lot of it is coming down to making sure that you take the few precious seconds that we have to do the few things that are worth doing for the rest of your life.
Like, what do you revert to? You just revert to what you know. You do whatever it is that you know, you just try to do that to survive. But one thing we do know is DeMarcus is a great basketball player. But I think it's also on us. You know, that kid has a much better chance of surviving if he get with the right group of friends in that neighborhood.
One thing important is that we all have these moments in time that either make you or break you, that can determine the rest of your life. The rest of your life can be determined by one simple decision. 19 years ago, 300 pounds, I was spraying for cockroaches. I made a decision to try to be a Navy SEAL. My whole goal was to go on this path every day after work and to run a mile to a mile and a half. This rock was about the 0.5 mark in my run. This rock was a moment that should have broken me. I got 0.5 into it. I weighed 297 pounds. I sat on this rock and I had a decision to make. I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. There wasn't some inspirational quote. There wasn't nothing. It was me, myself, and it was freezing out here. I had to make a decision. The decision I make was to get up and keep on going. That one moment changed the rest of my life.
If you think trying is risky, wait till they hand you the bill for not trying. If you think investing is risky, wait till you get the tab for not investing. See, it's all risky. Getting married is risky. Having children is risky. Going into business is risky. Investing your money is risky. It's all risky. I'll tell you how risky life is. You're not going to get out alive. That's risky. The Englishman says, well, if that's the way it's going to work out, let's give it a go. Right, that's what it's for. Give it a go.
The effort inside, the undying will wants to come out and be remembered. You must have them together. Right now. For anything in there to come in your favor. It's early in the morning right now. Half these motherfuckers are so sleepy. We're not. Because there's only so much time in the day. And we can't let it pass by. Most of these people are going to get up and go to work 9 to 5, right? Put their 8 hours a day in. They're not being paid by the hour. They're being paid for the value they provide in that hour. So when we walk in here and kill this fucking workout, the hour it is, there's no guaranteed success. It's the choices you make on every fucking rep. Every set, when the pain says hello, do you say goodbye? What are you doing? How bad do you want it? Or you already see yourself stronger from it before you enter it?
A lot of you are trying to find inspiration and motivation with a depressed mindset. You're depressed because you're not doing it with yourself. You don't find inspiration by not living in the grip of life. You need to live in the grip of life to find inspiration. Put challenges in front of yourself. When you put a challenge in front of yourself and you attack it, that's when you find inspiration. Try to be 10% better than you were last week. So if you're running 30 miles a week, run 33. If you're swimming 500 meters, swim 550. And some of you aren't doing shit, you're 10% just getting off the fucking couch. The more you walk away from accountability, the weaker you become. Find yourself in the grip of life. You can't find yourself by doing nothing.
Bernie, if you don't feel that pump, then you're not working, man. You're really not working. And you guys like, oh, let's put more weight on it, and I'll start throwing this stuff up. And the whole time you're just growing more and more of the problem. You know, that out of proportion look, you know, that weak point training is only weak because you're not hitting it. You know, that's why it's weak, because you're not hitting it as much as the other portions of our body.
I think the vast majority of people don't actually know what it looks like to put tremendous effort into something. And I think one of the most valuable things that the office, which now you're going to have, has given me is the people who now work in my proximity. One of the number one things that I get back as feedback is like, I really didn't understand how much he works. And like, he doesn't stop. And it's easy to say these things, and it's hard to actually, because one of the difficulty is, especially the vast majority of successful people have one thing in common, which is they're consistent. And consistency, you cannot see in a snapshot.
What would you tomorrow want you today to do? You tomorrow would want you to keep that promise to yourself. And it's why discipline is so much more valuable. I remember this conversation between Jocko Willink and Sam Harris 6 years ago. And they're talking about how you can't fake bravery, because if you do a thing in spite of being scared of doing the thing, that is bravery, right? There's no such thing as fake bravery. Like, if you do the thing and you're scared, that's bravery. If you don't do the thing and you weren't scared, that's not bravery, right? The same thing goes for discipline. Doing the thing in spite of not wanting to do the thing is discipline, right? You don't need motivation to get yourself up to go and do a thing. Make the promise small, build it up step by step. Know that you are going to have setbacks. And this is my favorite rule from James Clear, which is a habit missed once is a mistake. A habit missed twice is the start of a new habit. Never miss 2 days in a row.
And sometimes all the voices are telling you the wrong shit, man. But through years, not a podcast or listening to a book or reading a book, years of sacrifice, of suffering, of diligent, pinpoint fucking work on what you want to do for yourself. Not like, oh, let me just do a bunch of shit. I want to be in every task possible. No, pinpoint what I want to do with my life. What happens is you have all these voices that are telling you you're fucked up and this is gonna be hard, but for some reason, you put so much practice into you that you can ignore every one of them that are telling you you're not gonna fucking make it and still be able to fucking make it because you have put the practice in that you know this is the process.
With my fists clenched toward the battle, toward the struggle. And I fight with everything I've got to overcome those weaknesses and those shortfalls and those flaws. As I strive to be just a little bit better today.
Once again, not every message I have is for everybody. So as weak or soft people out there who want to pick apart the messages, just tune it out. Life ain't about medals, ain't about certificates, it ain't about houses, money, cars, fame, all that bullshit. It's about scars. So when you get judged when everything is said and done with, you won't get judged on your medals. You get judged on your scars. Those scars show your willingness to get to the other side. They show your failures. They show your willingness to start from scratch. They show what you're willing to do to go the distance, to see what you're capable of. So make sure in life, don't be afraid to get scars. Stay hard.
Everybody wants these abs in life, right? Everybody wants a six-pack, because in this world, man, image is everything. If you got abs, it means you're in shape. But you know, you gotta go after and make that happen. That opportunity doesn't just present itself. Opportunities don't come knocking on the door. They present themselves when you knock the fucking door down. Today, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna start planting the seeds of the harvest that we're gonna bear fruits of later. It doesn't just happen one day. You don't just wake up with abs every day, but it comes every single day, man. It's called perseverance. Every day, showing up, hitting your fucking dues. It's not gonna happen one day where you just wake up and have them, man. You gotta earn that shit. You gotta take what's yours. You can't expect someone to give it to you. Progression, man, is a key to happiness. Always in a progressive state of progress. You stop progressing and stop moving towards progress, then all of a sudden you lose purpose in life. When you're always moving forward and having a belief in something, then all of a sudden what you're doing actually has purpose. And that makes it very valuable.
That 1.5 hours a day that you have to write, god damn, you better be caffeinated and motivated. You gotta go. You gotta get after it. And you gotta have discipline. Most people don't have those things. Most people don't understand know what it's like to really go for something and to know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific.
There have been so many times in my life where I knew I needed to do something, and then I filled all this extra time not doing that thing. And then the moment I did it, I was like, wow, that took way less time than I thought it was going to take. And not only that, it took way less time than it took me to delay to actually get to this point. And if I had only started with just doing what I was supposed to do, I could have done 4 or 5 other things that I was also supposed to do by this exact same point. And so thinking about it from that perspective, I've tried to eliminate as much time between I think I should do this thing and beginning doing it. And I think you get this positive reinforcement cycle that occurs every time you start. I call it pulling the thread. It's like, I just need to start pulling the thread. And then all of a sudden what feels really unknown becomes very tangible. And you're like, oh, I understand the 6 problems I have to solve to do this big thing. Now I know the problems, and then it feels like you can wrap your arms around it, and then you can start taking it one bite at a time.
I start watching those instructors on the side, because there's 3 shifts. There's 8 instructors, 3 shifts. Because the guys going through Hell Week, they're up all day and all night for 130 hours. This is the promised land of mental hardening for me. I love this place. And you have the instructors who they've been there, done that. Now they're instructing you. So they do their 8-hour shift. They have their parkas on. It's usually cold, coffee, drinking their coffee, and they're beating the crap out of us. And when I started realizing, I started playing mind games. And I was like, you know what? I bet these fuckers are looking at us, judging themselves about when they were going through Hell Week. About, let me see, I'm looking at Goggins right now. I was better than him. I was better than that guy. I was better than that fucker over there. And I was like, okay. You gotta judge me, right?
There comes a fucking day where push comes to shove. Where being mediocre, being like average and shit just fucking burns. It sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day. And you get off your fucking ass. And you create something that's always been there. It's always been inside of you trying to come out. But you've never wanted to unwrap it because there's too much fucking pain and commitment.
I want you to learn that the only way you grow is how to look at yourself and say, okay, like I did. Table longer than this. What the fuck I have to do to get somewhere? I'm this. Well, basically, I'm not this. I can't do this. I'm all these insecurities. Your life finally started. When you sit there in the ugly mirror and say, I'm this.
This guy stopped me at a stoplight. He was like, hey, Doc, why am I not getting better? I'm a big-time goal setter. I run half Ironman. I run half marathon. I go for that new promotion at work. Why am I not getting better? I asked him a question. Do you have fear of not reaching those goals? He said no. Well, that's your problem. You're setting goals you know you can reach. And when you do that, that fear, that insecurity, that doubt, that's where you grow. He's not getting that. You must always set goals that you think you cannot achieve. And in there you get better. Stay hard.
Perseverance will always override potential, always override genetics. And perseverance isn't this marathon of life. It's not this long race that we have to pursue. It's a lot of short races, back to back to back. Every day we get up and we fight for it. And we plant those seeds in the ground, what we want to bear fruits on. So what I got here, guys, is 20 exercises you probably haven't seen before. All these exercises are going to move and shake and create those opportunities we want. If you want to go through the pain here, if you want to sacrifice today, that sweat equity today for tomorrow's betterment, meaning you're willing to plant that seed on fertile ground of something that you want to see, blossom in the fruits of your labor that you can harvest later. It begins today, guys. You must be that person now that you want others to remember you by later. Absol, get ready.
What are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want?
He gets to the point where he says, I just graduated college with 3.8 GPA. I ask him, what's next? He gives me a look like he's bewildered, and I didn't say congratulations. I said what's next because basically, if you have a long laundry list of fucking shit you want to accomplish in life, you sit back and you're very happy. You sit back on your accomplishments and say, wow, it's like a nice warm blanket. It's nice and comfortable. You don't want to do anymore. A lot of us have these I love me walls, certificates, trophies, plaques. I put all that shit in storage. As a reminder, I have more to do. Greatness is something you learn every fucking day. Hey kid, I'm proud of you. Stay hard, but keep on fucking working.